Hey guys, and welcome to another video with Zimaleta. My name is Serge, and in today's video, I want to show you guys an affordable way to diagnose your vehicle. This device is about $150, and I'm thinking, can we get it to work with an iPad? And as you could see, the format of the actual app, it's actually a small one where you could actually use it for your phone. I haven't used this unit yet, but it's supposed to be an elite e-diag type of tool. In this video, we're going to go over it. We're going to check it out and see how things work. I will try to hook it up to my iPad, but of course, if it's going to be like small factor like this, it's pointless. But a lot of automotive shops, like dealerships nowadays, they use something like this, which plugs into your OBD2, and then you could either use your phone or your iPad. So when I was a service technician for Chrysler Jeep Dodge, that's exactly what I had, like one of these type of units. Not from this company, of course. It was a dealer-specific type of unit, and that's what we used. And I'm thinking, this is perfect. It's a small form factor. If this is an elite diagnostic scan tool and it could do like a lot of different things, this could replace a lot of units out there, because you could just put this in your glove box or have it in your bag, ready on the go. If you guys been watching my channel for a while, you know that I started out with something very, very simple for a diagnostic scan tool about 10 years ago. And prior to that, I don't have a single diagnostic scan tool. But one of the most important things you're going to run into when dealing with any automotive issues with the check engine light is a big headache in not knowing what that light actually is. A lot of times when you go into these shops, they're just going to basically scare you. They're going to hook up their tool and they're going to tell you you have all of these different problems and you need to spend all of this money with them to get all that stuff resolved. When what you could have done, even if you don't understand what the screen is actually showing you, diagnose it, take pictures, like screenshots of the actual codes on your phone, because this is, for your phone, and then just clear all the codes. A lot of times it's just noise. What happens sometimes in cars is that when your battery dies, it throws everything, like haywire, like in your system. You're gonna have a Christmas tree of all kinds of lights on, like on your dash and stuff. And when you scan it, you might have like 60 codes, and that's because a lot of these modern cars, they have like everything electronical and all of these different components. And if they lost communication, to the computer because of the battery related situation, in that case, it will cause a whole lot of issues. But anyways, let's get to unboxing this and testing it right away without no further ado. Okay, now that the battery has been installed, let's try to start it for the first time. Push it back in. Let's just wait a few seconds. And the van is functional. A nice little like cloth tab. So there's like a little presentation right here. It comes in a unique case like this. It's actually very hard, like it's pretty sturdy, which is kind of nice. It says KINGBOLEN on it. So if you have one of these, you're basically king and you're bowling. And of course, here's the actual unit right here. It's got a nice firm shape to it. And when you look at it, this does feel and look like a very solid diagnostic scan tool. Even like this right here, this portion where it plugs into your OBD2 reader, it's like nice and hard. This is like hard plastic instead of soft plastic. Why is that good? I noticed a lot of these, including on some of my units that I have, it's like very soft plastic. And what happens is it ends up being deformed. So you go to try to plug it in and it will actually not want to plug in. So check it out. There it is. Maybe I'll use that for the picture. So anyways, this plugs in, and then you have what looks to be like a indicator light right here. It shows you if it's been connected. So anyways, let me help you to get started. So what you're going to need to do first is go ahead and pull out your eDiag Elite Bluetooth Vehicle Diagnostic Tool Quick Start Manual from your box. There's a couple languages in there. If you're English, just pull out the English version. Then you're going to need to plug in your diagnostic scan tool into your vehicle. If you go to Bluetooth settings and you have the Bluetooth settings on, it's actually not going to connect to your Bluetooth through that. Instead, you're going to need to download the app, which is an eDiag app on your smartphone. Then you're going to need to open up the app. So while you're in the vehicle with the unit plugged in, green light's gonna come on. I recommend just go ahead and start up your vehicle, not to drain your car battery or whatever. So let's go ahead and activate it. So you're gonna see a QR code sticker, and at the bottom of it, you're gonna see a serial number. Well, you're gonna need to put that serial number in, and you're gonna need to put an activation code in. So let me go ahead and put that in on my end, and I'll go ahead and get back to you. All right, guys, once you have actually already... All right, my software has been downloaded. So let's go ahead and actually diagnose all systems again. Okay, let's now do a health report. For the TCM, which is a transmission control module, no faults. BCM, which is a body control module, we have 2 faults. ABS, we don't have any fault codes. SRS, no fault codes. WCM, wireless control module. TPMS, wireless control module tire, fault 1. And then we have like no fault codes. So let's go ahead and take a look at the PCM. Well, it's kind of cool that I have like module information. I could read the fault code. I could clear the fault code. I could read data stream, and then I could do actuation tests. That's actually pretty cool that it's all right there and handy to me. So let's take a look at the code itself. So we're gonna do DTC information, and we got thermostat rationality. So let's go ahead and get a report. Wow, you could actually generate a report and then send it. So it's got the KINGBOLEN sticker on there. So let's generate a PDF information. So that is successful. Okay, so it tells you the test time and everything else. So now we're gonna go ahead and go back. Wait a minute, just gonna go back to the reports again. It does have a report, but I'm just gonna go ahead and screen it. And then just take another screenshot. I think that's all you need really, just to get the screenshots, and then you could send it to your customer or to yourself. Then we have the freeze frame data. Let's do the carb freeze frame. And we have all of these things going on here. To anyone that understands how to read it, I'm sure this is going to be very, very helpful to you. So what we could do is we could generate another report. We could also hit record, and we could record it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and generate a report, and we'll just take a couple screenshots. All right, so that's cool. Let's go ahead and go back, and then we're gonna record the data. So it says recording. So I'm screen recording, and now it's also recording all of this stuff. I'm not gonna get into too many of these things because you could already see that it has it. And if you're somebody that's mechanically inclined, okay, stop recording first, it says, okay. Gonna hit confirm, and file is saved. We're gonna go back. We have a first service freeze frame, then we have second service freeze frame, third. So this is kind of nice. You could do the initial freeze frame, and then each time you service it, you could read the freeze frame, and then you could compare to the previous reports, see if it has been solved, whatever situation you're trying to solve with your car. All right, so I'm gonna go back, and then we have most recent freeze frame, which we just did. So it's got that, okay, and then we have miscellaneous fire freeze frame. No freeze frame data, okay. All right, so we also have environmental data, and then we have thermostat rationality, and then we have environmental data stream. So DTC P0000, it's a complete. DTC storage state none. Okay, so a bunch of zeros. We're gonna go back, and we're gonna further explore. Then we have actuation test. Okay, note, some actuation tests require the engine to run, some require the engine to be off, and some both okay. All right, so now we have all of these different actuations, like wow, we have the fuel injector actuations. We got additional fuel injector 2, 3, 4. Of course, this will have 8 fuel injectors. We have the oxygen sensor 1, and we have oxygen sensor 2. We have auto shutdown relay control state, fuel pump relay. We have the AC compressor clutch relay. We have double start override, alternator field duty cycle, proportional purge solenoid, oxygen sensor, cylinder 1, 4, 6, 7, and that's solenoid control state, variable valve timing, VVT, exhaust phaser actuator. So it's kind of cool. We have all of these different actuations tests. And now we could also do like a full report. Let's go ahead and do like a full report prior to having cleared any of the code, so you could see what that looks like. And of course, we're going to generate a PDF. And we have this full report here that you could show to your customer or to yourself, whatever one you need. And we have all of these different codes. You could clearly see we got P0128 thermostat rationality. It shows where it's located, and at this point the vehicle doesn't like overheat or nothing. Like everything stays kind of good, but there might be an issue with the thermostat where it might be opening too late or opening too soon, and that will of course generate a code, because these systems these days are kind of smart, even though it's a 2009, and it keeps track of what's really happening in the temperatures and what the temperature is supposed to be, and then it throws a code. So since this vehicle is kind of old, 2009, a thermostat is a cheap solution. I think replacing a thermostat will do it some good. And then of course you could then delete the code and see if that has fixed the issue. I know I keep deleting this code. This code keeps coming back, and you'll probably see it in my other videos until I actually fix it. So another problem we have is with the front fog lamp control circuit high. That means it's not working. And then we got the wiper park switch input circuit low, remote keyless entry fob 2 performance. There is something going on with the remote where it's too sensitive. It like literally will unlock the vehicle just by you barely touching the down lock or lock, which I don't see like a huge problem with that, but that is one of the problems. But anyways, we do have that PDF report here, and I don't see any send option, like an email option like I have in my other unit, but this right here definitely blows away my diagnostic scan tool, which is by iCarsoft CR Plus, and this is like, by far like a much better unit. And of course it's even cheaper than that one. I don't know if they changed the pricing, but this diagnoses every car pretty much, and so does that one. Okay, so like, let's see. I don't wanna exit, but too late now because I already clicked on a button. Let's do system scan.
PCN.
So scanning.
TCN. Transmission ABS. Anti-lock. WCM. Wireless control module. TPMS. Wireless control module.
Back.
Tire equip.
System selection. PCM. Read fault code. DCC information. Thermostat faulty. We're just gonna go ahead and clear that code. Are you sure? Yes. Engine cannot be running. Turn engine off. Leave the key on the position, down position. So done that. Okay, clear fault completed. Now let's read DTC information. It says no DTCs, but guess what? It will come back. We're gonna start the vehicle back up, and let's do health report again. So at this point, it doesn't appear that the code has came back. So we might be okay for now, or until next time we start up the vehicle. But anyways, that really just concludes my test. Thanks for watching.